Hi Floss Tube, it's Kim with Stitching with Southern Places and Faces. It is Sunday, May 4th. I am not a big Star Wars person, but I'll go ahead and say, May the 4th be with you. All right, this is Floss Tube number 45. I have a ton to show today, so I'm not going to talk a lot about life updates. We're doing great. We had a wonderful vacation. I went to a cross-stitch store in Huntsville, Alabama called Patches and Stitches, and I have a ton of haul. My best friend and I went, and Steve went with us. Steve is doing well. Come on in, Steve, and say hello before you close the door.
Hello.
Hello. There he is in his Air Force hat. He went with us. How bad was it going with a couple of girls on a trip to a cross-stitch store?
It was a little cramped. But...
Yeah, because we bought a lot of stuff back too.
Yeah.
My best friend has a big car, but yeah, and I will show you my haul, which I normally don't have haul. We'll talk about that later. Say bye, Steve.
Bye.
And close my door. So Steve's going to go in the living room. I'm shooting in our guest room. This is my favorite room in the house. There's a lot of lighting, and I wanted to shoot today instead of yesterday because this room is so well lit when the sun is out. But the sun is going in and out. So I'm hoping that the lighting holds. So I want to say, I've been forgetting to say this since I have been reshooting Floss Tubes again. Thank you to everyone who watches. I really appreciate it. If you like what I do, please hit like, subscribe. I love your comments too. I try to respond to everyone, and I do. And if you are a floss tuber, I need to tell you guys something. I have started watching you guys on what we call in my house the big screen. Steve was like, some nights I'm like, hey, TV's mine. I'm watching Floss Tube. And I might watch you, but then I will forget to comment. So know that I am watching. I love watching Floss Tube. Sometimes I watch it at night in the bed just because I like to, it's a time when it's quiet. It relaxes me. And then, you know, after I've watched a couple of Floss Tubes, I can sleep well. So anyway, I did say I was in the spare bedroom. There is not a lot of my cross stitch here. We do have our seasonal wall up in our dining room, which is normally where I shoot, but the lighting just wasn't what I wanted it. There is a piece, this piece back here, I think I can point to it. There's a funny story, and I may have told you about it. I think I showed it. I bought that piece in Anderson, Georgia. And at an antique store for like $2. It says live, love, laugh. You probably can't tell because it's so far away. And it was actually framed in a shop in Cleveland, Tennessee, where I used to live and where I had been in several times. I didn't use them for framing, but they used to sell a few cross-stitch supplies. This was 25 years ago. I just thought it was ironic that I'm in Anderson, Georgia, and I saved a stitch from Cleveland, Tennessee, all the way down. Anderson, Georgia, for those of you who don't know, is kind of near Americus, and I guess that's considered Southwest Georgia. You guys, we do a lot of traveling. We were down there to visit Plains, Georgia, which was the home of Jimmy Carter, and I am so glad we did. That was a really fun trip. There is an article on Southern Places and Faces website if you want to read about Plains. Just a quick note, I am probably not going to be doing as much travel writing coming up. I am going back to graduate school. That is the plan. That could change. I'm also so busy at work, and I love my job. Guys, I'm an associate editor for a company. I love my job, and I'm just so busy at work that I just don't really feel like that we're going to travel a lot. Plus, everything is so expensive. People aren't traveling, and it's just, there's a lot of reasons why. But who knows? I may. I'm kind of fickle sometimes. Like one day I want to do this, and one day I don't, and you never know. All right, so let's get down to the stitching. I actually kept stats for the month of April. I've been tracking, I have it through an app on my phone, just the Notes app. I've been tracking. So April, I know this is May 4th, but this is kind of like my April update. I stitched for 50 hours and 50.58 hours, however that came out. That's about 12 and a half hours a week, which is about where I like to be with my stitching. I like to stitch between 10 and 15 hours a week. It's my therapy. If I don't, Steve will tell you, I'm just not a happy person. I only missed one day in April of stitching. That was actually last Saturday, April 26th. We went to Nashville with my son Lee. We had a really good time. We came back and we were exhausted. And I pretty much, I think I went to bed at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock when we came back. So that's pretty good. So I'm already tracking my stats for May. As I said, even though I only stitched 50 hours, I touched 14 projects. Now, one of them is a secret personal project that I don't think I've ever shown, that I may show, but it's more than likely going to be a gift. So I've been kind of hesitant about showing it, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I think I want to keep it for myself. So if I decide to do that, then I will show it to you. I had 3 full finishes and I had 2 new starts. I had 3 starts, and one of the starts is also a finish, and then I had another finish. I think I had 2 finishes. So anyway, yeah, and the sun is going out again. So we're just going to have to hope and pray that you can see everything. So let's talk about my full finishes. The first one I could really use your advice on. So, and I've got a little string here. So this is Home Sweet Home. And you can tell I was trying to glue some things there. I'm going to have to fix this. So I painted this map and I put this there. I was going to embellish it with some things, which is why the glue is there. And my best friend and my husband said, no, you don't have to. I should have done my nails. I didn't. So just pardon my crazy nails. I meant to do that. They said, no, leave it as it is. Which if I do, I'm going to have to get rid of the glue stains. So what do you think? Should I leave it as it is, or should I add some embellishments to it? This project, that's stitched on 18 count Aida, and it's from a very old book that I don't even know where it is anymore. I stitched this about, I think I stitched it in 2016 or 2017. So it's just been sitting in a pile to be finished. Guys, I have boxes of cross stitch that need to be that needs to be finished. All right, so that's that one. The next one that I wanted to show you that's fully finished, this is from Annabella's. This was my last stitch of 2024. I actually finished this on New Year's Eve. This is from her faith-based series that she put out. I ordered, this is Chelsea's Checks. I ordered Chelsea's Checks and just finished it on this. Steve painted this whiteboard for me. And I just used a little flower there because, you know, guys, I love my little gingham kind of shabby bows. I use those a lot. So there we go. So I fully finished this. This is going to actually hang in this room because this room is going to be done in blues, yellows, golds, and a little bit of green. And I'm working on a lot of pieces to decorate this room with. So I'm going to be doing some reaching here. I'm sorry. And yeah, my nails look kind of rough. Just forgive me. I don't do my nails because, excuse me, I'm going to reach because I type, but I try to keep them trimmed very closely, and I just haven't done that because it's the weekend. If you followed me before, you might have seen this last piece. This is Loving You Forever. This is a pattern from Little House Needleworks. I bought the pattern actually at a Samplers Guild of Georgia meeting several years ago. Stitched it, and then you can put the initials and the date of your wedding in there, and I just chose not to. Framed this in this little 7x7 frame that I bought off of Amazon. And this was kind of like, I did this for our 10th anniversary. We've now been married 12 years. Got to get the glare of the room out of there, so we're working on that. There's a little glare there. So that I finished that also and had this up in this little bitty frame that I bought off Amazon. I just wanted to show you another project and give a little bit of encouragement for people who think, I kind of want to stitch on linen and even weave, but I'm scared of it. I was for years, and now I just do whatever I want to do a project on. I have built my 18 count stash because I love 18 count Aida. I am a member of the Grace Notes Fabric Club. So one year I did 28 count even weave. Then I did 18 count Aida, and I have some fabric to show you. It's 32 count. Now I'm doing 32 count even weave. I buy linen as I see fit. Just if I want to buy it, if I see a good deal on it, or if I really think the project needs linen. So I build that stash separately, but I like everything. I'll be honest with you, I will stitch on anything. So there is a kit from Gloria and Pat that came out decades ago. And it was Learn How to Stitch on Linen. And that's what I did. And I had forgotten that I did this. It's pre-Steve, so it's over 13 years. So it was probably 15 years ago. And what I did was I turned it into a coaster because I didn't know what to do with it. So it's a little coaster, but right now we have it sitting up in our dining room. And it's just really cute. We can use it as a coaster, but I've just preferred to have it sitting because it will sit. So if you can find this kit, and I may have an old one that I can give away next time. I think I have another one that's the full kit. It's old, but it's a really good way to learn how to stitch on linen, to learn how to hold your tension, and to learn how to kind of like how to deal with the slugs. And the piece that I stitched this on, because I talked to my best friend about this. She's a linen stitcher. She's like me. We stitch on anything. But we talked about, oh my, what do I do? This is like a slug. And she kind of taught me through that. And I love this. It's a cute little piece, but it sits in our dining room. I'm going to set it up on the little table that I have here. All right, guys, so let's get into the rest of my actual stitching for the month. As I said, there's a lot, and there's also a lot of haul. I'm going to be throwing things around a little bit here. So I had 3 finishes. So let's talk about those first. And I forgot to bring my board in here, guys. I have a board, but I forgot it. So we're just going to use whatever I can. We're going to use the back of this for now. This is a Little House Needleworks Long May She Wave. I stitched this on 16 count Country French Mocha Ada. And all of the houses in the pattern are white, and I decided to make them red, white, and blue. I actually started this in 2020. I don't know why I put it aside. I really wasn't crazy about the Ada that I chose, but now I'm okay with it. And I think it turned out really nice. I haven't decided how I'm going to finish it. I'm thinking about a block finish maybe. I'm not absolutely sure of that, but it's going to go up. We're working on a patriotic wall for Memorial Day and July 4th, and it's going to go up on that wall at some point. My second finish, and I think y'all saw this, this is from Luminous Fiber Arts. This is one of their Christmas birds. This trio came out, I also think, in 2020 or 2021. I have all 3 of them, and this is the last one that I had to finish. That white is really not showing up really good, but there's white in there. It's probably because the sun went out. Great. I stitched this on some 28 count aqua even weave that I bought a long time ago. I can't even remember where I bought it, and I have several of this. Misty has some other projects out that are on this kind of aqua fabric, so I'm going to be doing some other, but I don't think I'm going to do the birds again. There was a chickadee and a blue jay, and I have done, and this was the last one, this little, I think, sparrow. This is the last one. So I have had the chickadee on my tree for a long time. Oh, the sun came back out. How nice. Now you can see maybe the white's still not showing up. It's actually showing up worse. All right. So anyway, so I finished that one, and I'm trying to do more Christmas ornaments throughout the year, but I just didn't do a lot. I was just really into stitching all the things I just wanted to, whatever called to me. And because it's so funny when you have new projects and there's a new start, you just want to do all the new starts. So this last one, this is funny. This has been in my stash for a long time. This is Heart and Hand Redbird Sampler. And why in the world this has just sat in my stash for about 3 or 4 years, I have no idea. By the way, it's a little hot in here. I know you can't feel that. I hope it's cool wherever you are. Also, I don't know if I'm looking in the right place, so I'll try. Sometimes I'll look at myself, sometimes I'll look at you, and then I'll look a little cross-eyed. So I am doing this on some 32 count aged paper, or I did this on 32 count aged paper from Color and Cotton, and I absolutely loved it, and I loved every stitch. And I started this in early April, and then I just could not put it down. So that, and I am not sure how I'm going to finish it yet. I did make a couple of changes, and I had she had the initials. If you see, they were kind of right side. See, she's got them kind of going the opposite way, and I didn't want that. So they're a little bit close to the beak, but it's okay for me because this is going to be for me. I stitched this in DMC 321, which is it's my favorite red. You're going to see that again. I stitched that in DMC 321. Now, I also own the Bluebird Sampler, and I do have the Call for Color. The Call for Color. Hold on, I'll take a peek. Chesapeake Bay. I bought some Chesapeake Bay on my trip to Patches and Stitches in Huntsville, and I'm going to start this month. I don't know if I'll finish it in May and finish it as quickly as I did the other because I have a lot of plans for May, which we'll talk about later. So, yep. But I love those little heart and hand birds. So yeah, I'm throwing things around, because I'm actually sitting on the guest room bed in here. So if you ever come to my house, you'll know all about where this is. And I'm going to throw this bag over here. Okay, so I had 2 starts, and both of them came from my trip to Patches and Stitches in Huntsville. By the way, that's a fun thing, and you're going to see later that I got enabled by something someone had, and I had to go buy it, but they didn't have it in stock. So this start, y'all, it is my 40th high school reunion this year, and I've had this in stash. I bought this at Cecilia's in Branson probably last year because I've been up there a few times. And it's the 1980s. It says, can recall most 1980s lyrics, but still can't remember the reason I came into this room. So I thought this would be cool and do this in honor of my upcoming 40th anniversary and my high school graduation, not my 40th wedding anniversary, not even close. So anyway, so this is fun. So I don't remember, I know that this is a Grace Notes fabric, but I started it, I don't have all the colors, so this is the only start that I got on it. I started it on my birthday, which was April 24th, and just got a little start on it. So yeah, I know it's Grace Notes, I just don't remember what color it is because, and it's an 18 count. Because I do a lot of, what I did with my Grace Notes subscription was I spent a year getting 28 count Lugana, and then I spent a year getting 18 count, and I've now switched over to 32 count. My other start is something that I've wanted to have for a very long time. And this is from Sweet Wing Studio. And this is one that I couldn't put down. And this is going to be one of, I'm going to be rotating out my Sunday stitches, and I'll show you my other Sunday stitch in a minute. This is His Eyes on the Sparrow. And it says His Eyes on the Sparrow, and I know He watches me. This is an absolute fun stitch. I loved it. I had a hard time putting it down. This is on some gray even weave. I think it's just a Swigert fabric that I purchased. There was a shop in Clarksville, Georgia called Tudor Rose. Unfortunately, she is still closed, but Susan was one of the most wonderful people. And I hate it that she's not there anymore. And I'm sorry that there's a lot of this fabric here. Boy, that's just not good. You got to see my back. That back's not bad. So this is, I'm using some DMC substitutions, but for the most part, all the called for colors. So I got His Eye is on the Sparrow. And I just love this. I love the colors. I'm rotating out Sunday stitches, so I won't stitch out on it this Sunday, but I'll stitch on it next Sunday. And like I said, I love it. But this is some 28 count even weave again that I bought, and using most of the called for colors, either the Fancy Flosses or the DMC. Y'all, I'm not really going to probably show y'all my flosses. I think I talked about this before. My flosses are usually pretty messy, and they're just all kind of usually stuffed into a bag somewhere. And I do have some cute bags. This is one, this right now, this one is just housing this one. This is from Deborah over at Joyful Stitching. I have a lot of her bags. She has great bags. I will link her down below. Last week, I really didn't do a really good description box. Forgive me, it's Sunday. It is a little hot in here. Okay, so this project, this next one, I am doing a cross-stitching a picture of my son. And he basically DMC, I think I had this done 2019, 2018. Basically, DMC was at the point they would do these conversions for you for like $10 of a picture. So I had them do one of this, and you could do them small. So this whole picture is like 4x4. I'm really curious to see how it turns out when I get to, and now I could show you this on the phone. There you go. I'm really curious to see how this turns out. I'm not down to where his face is, but this is the actual picture that the pattern is made from. And I actually got some progress in on this. I'm doing this on an 18 count, just Ada that I had in stash that I probably bought it in 1999, who knows. So this is where I got, all of this was not done. I try to work on this on Thursday nights, but look at all that confetti, y'all. I really don't like doing confetti. So, and I'm never gonna let you see the back of this one because it is a rat's nest. I don't travel, and I don't park or any of that stuff. So basically this one is just me doing that. I hope to get a lot more work in on it. Hopefully in May, and get back to doing it on Thursday nights. My whites are not showing up. That's all stitching right there. Put that really close so you can see it. I don't know when I'm going to get this done. It's huge. It's a full coverage, but it's not that big. But the thing is that it takes a long time. I mean, I could be a pretty fast stitcher, but if it's full coverage, whew, forget that. But I do want to get it done pretty soon. Has, I think, like 80 colors in it. So it's pretty big. I actually took things out of bags so that you guys wouldn't have to hear a lot of rustling. Now, this project is very special to me for several reasons. This is Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the Little House Needleworks. My husband and I are huge baseball fans. We go to minor league games. We just like being in a baseball stadium. I was supposed to have been at the Chattanooga Lookouts game on my birthday, and it was rained out. We had just a really nasty game. But we did get to go to the Braves game, the Atlanta Braves game, down at Tourist Park in Smyrna, Georgia, the day before, and they won. They beat the Cardinals. I think I started this. This is one of those that I've just been in my, whip pile for a long time, and I'm really going to try to put some work into it. This is a huge one to show, and like I said, I should have brought my board in here, but y'all just forgive me. Now, I didn't do it last time either. I do have one of those boards. So this is where I am. I'm going to cover my face so you can see it. Look, I'm under here. Y'all, I just have fun doing this. I'm kind of silly and goofy, so just forgive me. Let me see if I can do that. There's a story behind this because I actually have a mistake in it. I have a counting mistake. So what I'm doing is I'm fudging it. My counting mistake is right over here in the bricks. So I've been working on the people and working on the spacing and fudging it. And mostly what I'm doing now is working on those people. So I'm working on the people to hopefully make sure that I can have the mistake right. And this is some 28 count even weave. It's from MGC Textiles, I think but some people don't like this. This is extremely thick. I don't know if you can tell how thick that fabric is. I like working on it. I really enjoy it. I've done several things on some of the white fabric, and whenever I see any of it on a stash unload or something, I usually buy it. I think I'm about out of it in stash because I do like how it is, but some people don't. Another reason why this is very special is this is in a University of Tennessee bag. And this is also from Deborah at Joyful Stitching. And I'm actually going to be getting my master's, hopefully, if everything goes right, at the University of Tennessee. That's where I'm going to be pursuing my master's degree starting in the fall. So yeah, this is housed in that bag. So yeah, this is all special to me. Baseball, the University of Tennessee. Hey, what is not to love? And stitching, of course. All right, another long-term project. I have no idea how I'm going to show you this one again. Didn't bring my board in. This is One Nation. I am so close to a finish on this, and I don't know why. I just don't push through and do it, and I may do that. And I hope I'm not shaking. Hold on, y'all. I'm moving y'all a little bit. Hopefully my knees will stop hitting this little table that I'm on. Y'all, I am so far into this that I only have a few lines of just this one is hard to show anyway because it is so humongous. I'm just going to do it like this. But as you can see, I'm going to tell you and then I'm going to let you look. I'm just doing those little lines in between the states down there. I've done all 50 states and I am going to wait until I know I'm finishing it in 2025. And I'm going to put my initials and the year I finished and the years I worked on it over there next to Alaska and Hawaii. But here it is. And I'm just going to kind of do that. I hope you can see it well. And I have a needle in it. Y'all, I am just me because this is where I am working. I could show you a little bit better here. I'm working down there in the bottom. Because you can see I've got most of it done. That is all I have left. All I have left, thank goodness. And so, my best friend is also working on this. My best friend's name is Kathy, by the way. And you'll probably hear me talk a lot about her because she's the one who taught me how to cross stitch. She got me in all this mess, so we could just blame her for that. So, I hope I could conceivably finish that by Flag Day if I do it. My thing is I think what Made by Michelle McGraw says, she said this one time this way, I squirrel, okay? And it's like we went to this cross stitch store in Huntsville and I'm like, I had to start the things. I want to start all the things. And there's all these whips over there going, what about me? What about me? If whips could talk. My projects don't really talk to me, and I don't really think that. I'm not crazy. But, yeah, I mean, do y'all not have a big pile of whips over there? And then you're like, oh, I got to start something new. Or you see something online, you're like, oh, my gosh, I got to buy that and start that now. I'm really struggling with that now. I compared this to Steve. I was really talking to Steve about that this morning. It's kind of like, yeah, I really don't. I was trying to get him to talk me out of buying something, which I actually may buy anyway. So, I don't have a lot of summer stitched up, and I'm working on some patriotic, and so I am really excited about this one. This one is from Just Cross Stitch from August of 2023, designed by Jenny Barton of JB Cross Stitch. I thought this was adorable. I started it in 2023, put it down, and then like, oh, I need to put this back up, pick this back up. Look, I am getting closer. I've decided to go ahead and stitch all of the popsicles before I put their sticks on. I absolutely love this. This is on 18 count fabric that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's only printed on one side. So I thought at first it was some fabric flare because I do have some blue fabric flare in my stash, but this is Hobby Lobby fabric. And this is just so you know. So, ta-da! So I'm getting closer. I do have a way I want to finish this when it's done. So it will be finished and hopefully up. But this is one I want to get finished in May because summer's in June, and then I'm slow sometimes on fully finishing things. As you can see, I just fully finished something I stitched in 2018 or 2019 this month. So, but this is one of it's so many colors, and I'm not going to show you the mess of DMC, and it was all charted in DMC that I have in there. Gosh, I did stitch a lot. All right, so I didn't do a lot of progress on this one, but I'll show it to you anyway because it's here. I work on Prairie Schooler Santas. I always have one going. This is the Prairie Schooler from 2020, and I wanted to do this one because my son was born in 2020. I was distracted by other things. Again, I squirreled a lot, and I only got his beard in. I had a little bit of the hat done the last time you saw it, but I do have the beard in, so I'm getting there. And I will probably be picking this up. I try to, I always say, oh, I'm going to stitch my Prairie Schoolers on Monday along with other Christmas stitching and do it that doesn't happen all the time. But I do like this one. It says, I like because it says good boys and girls. So, hey, that's pretty cool. I would say it's not my favorite Prairie Schooler Santa. But, you know, I finished a whole bunch of them. They're all in this big old bag here. I cannot believe how much stuff I still have to show y'all. And we haven't even gotten a haul yet. And that's a lot. This is one that I've had in stash for a while that I've been working on for Steve. Poor Steve. This is from Heartstring Samplery. It says, I don't have a problem with coffee. I have a problem without coffee. I am doing this in all the called fors except there were a couple of called for fancy flosses I didn't have, so I just did the DMC substitute. So there are a couple of DMCs. I got a lot of work in on this yesterday. I don't know why I decided. I never know why something calls to me. I'll go through the way my stitching. If you come to my house, my apartment, we have a really huge living room, and there's a corner of it where there's the couch, and there's this table that has all my stitching stuff, and there's an ottoman that sits next to it that stores what are quote unquote my current whips. There are lots of, it's huge. It's overflowing. And so sometimes I'll just start going through that ottoman and I'll go, oh, why have I not stitched on this in a while? Boom, I'm stitching on that instead of what I planned on stitching, which is absolutely why Lee's project, the picture that you saw a few minutes ago, has not had a lot of stitching on it. Anyway, oops, you're almost about to see the back of this. My backs really aren't that bad. I've seen worse. So this is how far I am on it. I got a lot of those things down at the bottom, those little round things. I'll show you. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I can. I did a lot of these yesterday. I had finished, I've got to work some of the bird, and there's a basket of berries there and a little bit of red there. So I'm not too far away from a finish. So I'm thinking I might try to finish this month. It won't, I figure maybe an hour or two is, maybe 1 to 3 hours on this. Since we're not traveling so much, I'm home more so that I can do more stitching. I am probably going to have this framed because we may want to put it in our kitchen, and I don't want to put any, sorry, I keep hitting it. And by the way, it's hot. I don't really want to put anything in our kitchen that's not, it's like the same thing. I'm doing some pieces for our bathroom, and I don't want to put anything in our bathroom that's not under glass. So that will probably be framed when it is finished. And Steve forgets about it. And not because if he has Alzheimer's. I'll go, do you remember this project? Yeah, weren't you working on that in, 2015? I'm like, well, not quite, but yeah. This is a newer project, and this is one I love. Sarah at Sarah Stitches, she enabled me. I pulled this out for the 25th stitching from the Homespun Needlework group. Isn't this so colorful and pretty? And when I saw Sarah stitch it and I saw how beautiful hers was, I just went to 1, 2, 3 stitch and hit buy or purchase or whatever it is. But it was add to cart and buy it right then. So yeah, I have all the it's in DMC. So I have all the call for DMCs. Working on this dark fabric, this is the call for fabric. The call for fabric is Mystic from Picture This Plus. They use 28 count. I'm using 18 count because I love 18 count. I think my stitches look better on 18 count. I don't know why. So this is Mystic, and all I did, I only had a little bit of the S on my last art, so I got more on the S done. This is fun to stitch, but I do have to stitch it in the daytime. I have a really hard, the lighting in our apartment is not that great. And so I have a whole bunch of, I have an OT light, it helps. I have this really big lamp and that helps the most. But, you know, if I'm going to stitch on something like this, I'm going to make it daytime stitching. So yeah, Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. That is just adorable. I would love to have that finished by this Christmas, but I don't think I will. But I do pull it out a lot more than, I don't know. I pulled it out just once, but I did stitch on, as you can see, I stitched on a lot of things this month. So this one, this was something, a lot of people did this during Lent, and that was my goal, was to, oh, let's do it during Lent. Let's see how far I can get this. I just didn't get it done well at all. I never say this right, is Tetelestai. I never say it right. A lot of people, y'all have seen this. This is the pattern. It's by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I used to, I will show you this. You see this on my phone. This is why I am not taping my floss tubes on my phone right now, which I love to tape them on my phone because I don't know how to make that thing work where it will set up right. But that's Tetelestai. So part of the reason why I didn't get as much done on it probably is because I had to frog the border about 6 times. I'm doing this on some 36 count Edinburgh linen, and I absolutely love working on this fabric. Let me do that so you can see. So I love it. So I have not even finished the border. I'm going to alternate this as my Sunday piece for now with his eyes on the sparrow. And since I worked on his eyes on the sparrow last Sunday, I will be picking this up later today. So, in fact, I'm going to put it over here where it's closer. I'm making a mess. I never bring my cross stitch projects in here. This is the guest room. So I'm making a mess and I'm going to have a lot of cleanup. This is my last project. Gosh, we finally got there. Normally my videos are not even 30 minutes long, and I apologize for the fact that I kicked that table a lot. Sorry about that. So this is, it's one of my favorite projects, but I do this when Steve has doctor's appointments where he has certain doctor's appointments where I sit in the waiting room, like speech therapy, things like that. And I take this with me. Let's get it with a glare. This is out of a pack. This is There's Room at the Table. It's just called There's Room from Annie the Proper Stitcher. Another one of those, when I saw it, just bought it right then. It's gorgeous. I do also have her Go Tell It on the Mountain, all 3 of those. And I hope to start those this year, but I don't think they'll be finished. I am doing this on 18 count. It's 18 count gingerbread latte from Grace Fabrics. And I haven't cut my fabric because I want to wait. I know that I'm not, since it's 18 count, and because this is hand dyed, I will say that it feels more like a 20 count Aida, but I love it. I love the way the stitches are. And this is where I am. I actually worked on this last night, but I got to frog some of that. Mostly what I'm doing when I'm in the waiting room is working now on the letters. And I got Room finished Friday. We were on vacation, so he didn't go to like some of his appointments this week. And then I had been working on there. And then I'll do like some of the border. If I'm in just stuff that's easy when I'm sitting in the doctor's office. But I was working on this last night because I had it out. I stitched on a lot of things yesterday. I stitched on this, stitched on the coffee piece, and I stitched on the summer piece. So I had I think I stitched like 4 hours yesterday. That was a really good, I have to show y'all. This is from Garon Totten Bags, and I never say their name right, but y'all know who they are. I'll show it to you. I got this years ago. I'm a big Golden Girls fan. And I had to get the biggest bag, and I love it. And I'm housing room at the table there now. If that sun going in and out, I am sorry about that. I just love it. And I have it. Oh, let me see. I also, and I don't even know who I bought this from, but I also have the needle minder with the girls. So yay. All right, I think that is all I've stitched on. I am tired already. I have a lot of haul, and it is over here, and I just kicked you again, and I'm sorry. Y'all, I am not perfect at doing these things. I am just somebody sitting in a room talking about cross stitch, so Please forgive me. So the first haul that I'm going to show you, I think, let me make sure I have it all divvied out right. I do. Is from Patches and Stitches in Huntsville, Alabama. If you've never been there, they're awesome and they're very helpful and they'll help you put things together. We were just my best friend and I, we love cross stitch, we stitch, we love going on trips. And when Tudor Rose closed in Clarksville, Georgia, we had made 2 or 3 road trips there. We were really sad about that. And so we were like, we need to start making more road trips. And there are a lot of cross stitch stops that we have on our list. So, and we do know there's one, they say there's one coming to Middle Georgia, and there's one that just opened in Greenville, Tennessee. I'm just outside of Chattanooga in Ottawa, Collegedale area. So we're going to try to do that. We're also going to try to get to the one in Johnson City, and there's one in Murfreesboro. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of haul anymore, except for when we go on these big trips, because I can't afford to always be buying haul all the time, y'all. We're all on a budget here. So what I've decided to do is I did a big haul, and then I did some extra haul because I was inspired. And I do a lot of Etsy. Etsy is, and I will show you some of those. In fact, I'll show you one of my hauls. I think I could pull it up. I could pull it up from my files. I have to show you something I had to have because there's a funny story behind it that you guys will all know about, because y'all know that I'm crazy about flamingos, and what's so funny is I haven't stitched any of my flamingo patterns lately, but I do have several flamingo patterns, and I have some Christmas ornaments that I have. I think I've already put this in my markup. I'm also using markup now, which I love, but not everything goes in markup perfectly, and it is in markup. So let me just show it to you in markup, the cover. So this is from I Love Pigeon Coop Designs. I have his book, and I have started 2 things in his book. And this is, so the reason I became crazy about flamingos, we were in Florida. Oh my goodness. 2020, right before the pandemic hit, we were in Florida, and I kept seeing these pink birds fly around. Well, I know nothing. I'm a journalist. I didn't major in science or all that, you know. So math's not my thing. The only math I like is baseball math and cross stitch math. Outside of that, don't like math either. I just assumed that I was seeing flamingos because all I could see, and they weren't stopping. They were flying fast, and they were just flashes of pink. So I kind of became obsessed with flamingos, thinking that what I was seeing were flamingos. I've later since learned that what I was seeing were spoonbills. And they're pink too. And they are very native to Florida, and you see them everywhere. So this is from Pigeon Coop Designs, and I just hit send. I think this came out like Thursday or Friday. As soon as I saw it, went to Etsy and bought it. So I don't know when I'm going to start it. You know that he charts most of his stuff in DMC, and I'll probably have it all in my stash. And it's on Ada. And I don't stitch a lot on 14 count Ada. So I don't know. I'll probably find some 18 count Ada in my stash. Some of my Grace Notes fabrics, but this is called, this is a spin bill pattern. It is from, hold on a second. And it is from Pigeon Coop, and it just came out. Yeah, he calls it, yeah, he calls it the, you can see my markup there. He calls it the Roseate Pigeon Coop. I think that's how you say that, Roseate. I don't know how to say that. If anybody's like, knows that, you can just tell me that I'm stupid and don't understand how to say words. That's the cover page. But I bought that. I do buy a lot of little things on Etsy, and when I start stitching more of them, I'll show you. So let's talk about the trip to Huntsville. Let's get there first, and then there's some other things I want to show you in haul. Haul's going to take a long time. So one of the things that I loved when we went there, they have these cute little bags. See, there's these little mesh bags. I think we paid $8 for these. And they also came, I bought a lot of floss. I'm not going to show you every color of floss, but I bought a lot. Ooh, let me move up a little bit. I bought a lot of floss, and it came with another little bag. This is some of the floss that I bought, lots of it. A lot of it's already been kitted up. So I did. So I love these little bags. That's the first thing that the ladies told us about. We went over there, we're looking at some of those patchwork bags that everybody's stitching on. We were looking at those, and they showed us these, and we each got one. My best friend got blue, and I got green. So it's really cool. So this is already housing one of my projects. I've already kitted up a project for this. I'm planning on starting this for Mental Health May. This is from Silver Creek Samplers, and it's called Always Hope. And I will take it out of the package for you so that there's not a glare. I probably should have already done that. So I love this. And this, she stitched this on 18 count using Midnight Hour from Be Stitch Me. So I've kitted this up. I am actually going to use, this has it's hard to tell, it's a blue-gray tint. It's Oceans Apart 18 Count Ada from Grace Notes. The color's not really showing up true. It's a little bit of a blue-gray. It's really pretty. And I have chosen to use Deep Blue from Deep Sea. It's actually Deep Sea from Weeks Dye Works. That's going to be my color. And this is my fabric, and I think that's going to be really pretty. Not conducive to drinking water in here, so forgive me. So this is the pattern, and these are my choices. And I will be starting this for Mental Health May. But yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. I don't think I'll finish it. I think it's something I will stitch throughout the year, but I'm really excited about that. So also, one of the things I wanted to go, if my Aunt Brenda's watching, I do want to tell you, yes, I do touch my hair a lot. Please let me know about that. Everybody talks about I touch my hair a lot. I have very thin hair and it doesn't want to stay no matter what. So one of the things I knew I wanted to get, and I've actually got this kitted up. And let me see if you can see this without the glare. This is, they did a project with all of these Threadworks threads, some of the designers did, called Cross Stitch the Rainbow for Market. I didn't really want to buy a lot at Market, but my stepdaughter Taryn, she absolutely loves, I love purple and she loves elephants. Okay, I'm going to take it out. I don't want you to have to get through the glare. You've probably seen it, but I want to make sure you can see it well. So, this is called Forget Me Nots. It's so cute. I had to do it. I had to buy it. Elephants. If my stepdaughter, I'm going to let her decide if she wants it. I'm going to give it to her. If she wants it, I'll frame it up. I bought the thread pack. And these are gorgeous threads. I have never used Threadworks before. Pardon the rattling, y'all. I wasn't planning on rattling with you. But yeah, aren't these pretty? Very pretty palette here. Whoopsie. Maybe you'd like to see them. Very, very pretty. I love that light purple kind of gray, and I love the blue too. I've already picked my fabric for this because I've kitted it up. Don't know if I'm going to start it in May, but I love vellum from Picture This Plus, and I have some 28 count vellum that I'm going to start this project on. Everything is just all a mess over here. I try not to be a messy floss tuber, y'all, but I'm sorry, I'm just human. So yeah, here are the threads, and there's the vellum. So I've kitted it up with that, and again, how could you not love kind of a purplish gray elephant with all of those really pretty. I'll probably do a couple more of those projects, but I haven't yet. So another thing that I bought, so most of this, there's a lot of haul from Patches and Stitches, bought a lot of stuff there. So this room, if you can't tell, is kind of yellow. I haven't really put a lot of things up yet. I'm going to be stitching things, and I'm going to be doing some honeybees and some blues and some flowers. There's a yellow and blue quilt that's got some gold in it and some green. My high school colors were blue and gold, so I'm going to be looking at doing some things in that color palette. I've been wanting the honeybee Quaker from Primrose Cottage, so I bought that, and I think that's adorable. I'm going to try to, I probably will be starting that. I don't sew yet. There is a sewing machine sitting right over there that's been sitting there. I had another sewing machine in my old apartment. I ended up giving it away. I'm going to really start teaching myself how to sew, or have somebody come over and teach me. But I really love this. Y'all, I love Prairie Schooler. I was totally enabled. I'm not going to take this out of the package because you've probably seen this. I saw somebody stitching the Woodland Santas. This one in particular, I like the one where he's pulling the horse. So I bought these. I have a lot of Prairie Schooler in my stash too. I have a lot of Blackbird. I have a big stash that just sits there. Another thing that I really wanted to do, I love Rosewood Manor patterns, and I'm like, why do I not have a Rosewood Manor pattern in my stash? So I went specifically after one. My best friend and I decided the tulips was pretty. There is a small tulip in here, and I don't think there's a picture of it finished, so I can't show you. They have like a small pattern that says welcome. It's really cute. It doesn't have the stitch count on it, but it's not very big. I'm probably going to do the small before I start doing this, and I don't know when I'm going to do this. But I love her Dreaming of Flowers series. I'm wanting to do all of them, but I thought, let me just start with this one because I spend a lot of money on stuff. I don't need to have it all in my stash. This next project, hold on, you're going to hear zip. Sorry, I meant to. This is something Pam Just Keep Stitching. She started this a long time ago in honor of cancer survivors. And this is called Courage. And I have wanted this for a long time. It's by Praiseworthy Stitches. It's part of their Simple Gifts. So I am doing this in purples. And I'm doing this in honor of my husband who has Alzheimer's. Purple is one of their colors. And my best friend who is a pancreatic cancer survivor. I have had 3 other friends and an uncle who have died of pancreatic cancer. And purple is the pancreatic cancer color. I am going to be putting their initials in it. I'm not sure, again, this is something I don't know when I'll start it. But I really love this. And I know that it's supposed to be done, well, it's charted in pink in Rose Garden from Sampler Threads and Tea Rose. So I have chosen to do, the ladies at the store were so nice. We did a floss toss, and this is what we've come up with, and I'm hoping, let me get them together and in the right place. So I have some purple fabric. It's an 18 count called Winter Crocus from Grace Nopes. And so this is Weeks Dye Works Mulberry, and this is Blueberry from Sampler Thread. So these are going to be my purple threads. They're not really showing up true to color. They really look a lot better. Both of these threads are variegated very heavily. That fell at my feet. I'm just going to remember not to step on it. But there's a lot of variegation in both of these threads. Let me see if I can put this up closer. You can see a lot of variegation, so that's going to be really, really pretty. So a lot of variegation in this one too. That's showing up good. So yeah, that's kitted up and ready to go whenever I want to start it. And I'm very much, y'all, it has to call to me for me to want to do it. That's just how I am. It has to call to me. Okay, so I also, while we were there, one of the wonderful ladies in the shop was stitching this, and I had seen Sully Stitches and seen this, and she was stitching it, and it was gorgeous. And she was doing it on the Cedar River linen. I actually have some linen that I bought from Tudor Rose. I'm not going to take this out of the package. Everybody's seen this. This is A Daily Reminder by Brendan Gervais. I have the linen. I have many of the called for fancy flosses, and it's also, maybe if I would hold it the wrong way. There's something for your blooper reel, y'all. So I bought this because I love the message on it. Be good and do good. I love it. I just love all the colors. And I have some 32 count Weeks Dye Works olive linen that is going to be gorgeous on this. So probably will start this sooner than you think. I just have to kit up the rest of it, but I have the linen in there. I just haven't put it. I ordered that, and I'll put who I ordered it from below. I can't remember, but she was really nice and really easy. I had a hard time finding it because it's a very popular pattern. They were out of it on 1, 2, 3 stitch. I know, okay, y'all, this is a lot of stuff. I'm almost done, I promise. So I had this pattern and I lost it in the move because you guys, we moved last June. This is a quirky flamingo, guys. I love flamingos. I'm just going to put this together one weekend. I'm sure I haven't even figured out my fabric. It's 45 by 45. Our guest bathroom is totally in pink. Pink floors, pink shower curtain, flamingos all over the place. I mean, yeah. So if you ever come in, for everybody who comes and visits us, our guest bathroom in the hall is totally pink. And I have several flamingo patterns in the works that I haven't finished. I've got one I'm really close on. I should just get done. This is one that I could just finish really quickly. So I thought it was cute. It is by, who is that? Darling and Whimsy Designs. I just think it's cute. I may change. Those are a little bit orangey for me. The colors are light coral and salamander. I may change it to some pinkier pinks. We'll see, because my bathroom is, like I said, very, very pink. All right, I've been also really wanting to do a Carolyn Manning design, and our bedroom, I'm color coordinating like crazy, y'all. Our bedroom is, my sister bought me this gorgeous purple and green quilt, and purple and green, that's some of my favorites. So I found this on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and it was on sale. I love these. And you could do them as a full pattern, or I could do them separate. So this is by Carolyn Manning Designs, called Spring Lilacs, and it has all the purple and greens. In fact, it looks a lot like our quilt that my sister purchased it for us in Branson in September. It was our Christmas present, and we finally put it on. It's just so beautiful. I might post a picture of it on my Instagram. I posted it on my personal Facebook page, but I might. One thing about my husband, y'all, my husband can make a bed like nobody's business. He was in the military, y'all. He was in the Air Force, as y'all know. If you've been with us for a while, well, you saw him. He had an Air Force shirt on. He is like, I'm like, just throw the covers up. He is like, oh my gosh, there's a wrinkle right here in the fabric, right here in the quilt. Gotta get. He's in. Oh, it's the night. It is so nice to go into a nice bed like that. Every single morning, he makes the bed. This is last month's Grace Notes fabric, so I'm going to start sharing these. You should have received this. If you don't want to see, if you for some reason have not received your April fabric yet. I love this because I was waiting on a really good, just plain neutral. This is called Fly Me to the Moon. This is a 32 count Lugana fat quarter. Guess what I get now? I just love it's just a neutral creamy color. I'm sure I'm going to have this kitted in something by the end of the month. So... But yeah, that's the only fabric club that I'm in. I have a lot of fabric in stash. I was in the Be Stitch Me fabric club for a while. I bought a lot of color and I have a lot of color and cotton. And I'll be honest, I love Picture This Plus. And I have a lot of Picture This Plus. If I see that it's on sale, or if I'm just wanting, times when I wanted to stash and hatch, I would stash, enhance. I would buy a lot of it. Guys, I've taught for a very long time, so plans for next month, you've probably seen a lot of it. I'm going to probably start the Bluebird, work on a lot of the patriotic things. I have a pattern that I left in the car that I bought at Huntsville that is a patriotic pattern, and I don't even know who did it, but my best friend has it, and I'll probably start working on it, and I'll show it next month. Since I had so much to show, and we're almost an hour in, gosh, I got really close up there for some reason. Again, y'all can make fun. This is just fun for me. I do all kinds of crazy things. I may try to go every 2 weeks if I keep having so much stitching, because I am able to get in a lot of stitching time the way that I'm working my schedule, especially since the Braves are back, because I always stitch when I'm watching baseball, and that really helped. I don't think that everybody's like, how is graduate school going to change your stitching? I don't think it's going to change it very much, based on what I've heard, because I have a lot of free time, thank goodness, and I just have to just be more, careful with my time. We've already been kind of planning on it. So yeah, just so y'all know, I am 58 years old going back to graduate school, and that is kind of crazy. But I should be done by the time I'm 60, so yay. All right, guys, if you've made it this far and you're still watching, thanks so much for watching. I will probably I'm going through my stash. I'm probably going to do a few giveaways next time. So I'll either see you the first week of June, or I could see you in 2 weeks if I just think I said I don't want to have a video this long again. So if I think that I need to have a shorter video, then I will see you in 2 weeks. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome May. Bye-bye.